Josuke Higashikata, the stand user of the stand Crazy Diamond, the main character of the fourth part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, who quite literally never showed up after his part ended. I know I did a Josuke video over a year ago, but the thing is, in that 1 year span, I think I became a better scaler and I gathered more information and so on and so forth about this character. So at the end of the day, how strong is Josuke? Josuke's best strength feats throughout the fourth part of JoJo comes from his short-range power stand, Crazy Diamond. Despite only having a 2-meter range, Crazy Diamond has shown to possess immense physical strength. Josuke was able to briefly contend and take blows from an amped Red Hot Chili Pepper being amped from the fact that he drew all the electricity within the town of Morio into his stand, adding the town's energy on top of his own strength. With the fact that guides like the Jojo Veller, for example, making a huge deal out of this, the energy of Red Hot Chili Pepper that he absorbed and added onto his own strength was calculated to be around 427.3 kilotons worth. It was also implied in Part 4 that Josuke can grow stronger as time goes on. So if end of Part 4 Josuke were to fight Red Hot Chili Pepper again, he would likely have done a better job. Even though Josuke did fail to hurt Jotaro, it only took a few blows from Josuke's Crazy Diamond to break Star Platinum's guard. You might be able to use a guidebook to support the idea of Josuke's Crazy Diamond being imparable if not stronger than Star Platinum. The guidebook basically saying that Crazy Diamond is stronger but slower than Star. But there are a few problems with this. Firstly, this is contradicted by the same guidebook when talking about Jotaro and Star Platinum, calling Star Platinum the strongest stand, as well as the Jojo Veller saying the same thing. Secondly, it was implied multiple times that Jotaro holds back in most of his fights due to Star Platinum's strength. Plus, it was obvious that Jotaro didn't want to fight Josuke. And lastly, Jotaro was rusty during this time period. It's likely that Jotaro didn't use Star Platinum in terms of combat that often between parts 3 to 4, especially since his time stop was reduced. So, not to say that Josuke is weak. He's far from weak. Crazy Diamond is one of the more physically strong stands and one of the more physically strong Joestar stands. And even though he's not as strong as Jotaro still considers Josuke to be strong. Since Josuke can grow stronger as time progresses, if an adult version of Josuke were to fight Part 4 Jotaro would likely have been defeated, but that's up to your interpretation. For reference, if you want to know how powerful Jotaro is, you can watch my Jotaro video I did a little while ago. The link to that will be down below. Now, since Crazy Diamond is one of the more physically powerful Joestar stands, you can say that, he would beat stands and characters like Jolene Stone Free and Jordan's Golden Experience if they're going to do some sort of DBZ type fight where it's just punch for punch. If it was a contest of intelligence, that'll be a completely different story. Now, for reference, Jolene Stone Free was stated in the manga to be able to punch with the destructive force of a small but fast meteor. I was able to get this statement anywhere from large building to city level, assuming things like the shape of Stone Free's fists, and assuming that Jolene's hands have at least average measures. Golden Experience could break or crack the armor of White Album, though he couldn't fully break the armor at the time. White Album was stated that he could freeze entire oceans if he wanted to. This would mean that White Album's overall AP would be anywhere from small city to city level, with Golden Experience being around large town to small city level due to this piece of scaling. But back to Josuke. Now, he can amp his power of his physical power via rage boosts going off of the Jojo Veller, which Josuke isn't the only Joestar that can amp his power up via rage amps. Josuke is actually aware of this rage amp since he referred to it as him going berserk. So the only times he actually gets mad, like to the point where he does activate these rage boosts, are times his hair is insulted. For example, i.e., the Rohan situation, and the time he fought Jotaro was insulting his hair, which caused the fight to happen. We can see that the boost of power is around the 2 to 5 times range at the very least, but we're not given any numbers, and it's just very hard to actually give a specific number, but that is a good range, 2 to 5 times. When it comes to Josuke's main ability, it's an ability called Restoration. With this power, he can restore any broken item to its previous state. A few of examples of this is the time he punched a hole through his mother's chest, breaking a glass water bottle seemingly, then fixed this bottle as well as his mother's chest to trap Aqua Necklace. He also put a dry piece of blood inside of a glass shard, then restored the blood to make a makeshift homing projectile. And he can use his ability to heal others, like the time he healed Okiyasu's wounds caused by bad company. He also healed Jotaro and Koichi's wounds after the whole sheer heart attack fight. Though this power does have some limitations, for example, he can't heal himself nor bring back the dead. In terms of just speed for Crazy Diamond, Josuke stated himself that he can punch at a speed of surpassing that of 300 kilometers per hour. People try to use this to limit Josuke's speed whenever JoJo's character's speed to say that they're subsonic, say. Jotaro confirmed Crazy Diamond is pretty fast, even by his standards during the time period, with Red Hot Chili Pepper also commenting on his speed, saying that he's fast. Red Hot Chili Pepper was stated within the series and by guidebooks to be able to travel at the speed of light. Red Hot Chili Pepper's speed can also increase depending on the amount of energy he absorbs, meaning Josuke's Crazy Diamond is around FTL. When it comes to Josuke himself without his stand, he most likely ranges from the peak human to wall levels in terms of AP and durability. I say that because he was shown to hit Koichi so hard, Koichi got sent through metal doors, and the fact that he endured getting sent flying at a speed of 70 kilometers an hour and tanked getting sent into a wall at a similar speed, all while injured. So, at the end of the day, Josuke is a fairly powerful character within the verse, not being a high tier like Golden Experience Requiem or Made in Heaven, but definitely being up there within the verse. Josuke being able to be around the large town to city levels in terms of AP and durability, with speeds around the FTL ranges at the very least. The reason why he struggles in half his fights is that Araki, by the time of writing Part 4 and onwards, wanted the characters to use strategies more than raw physical strength, just like in the previous part. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya.